Welcome to 100 Yards Football this morning. We have a very special video today. We have the potential Super Bowl 56 MVPs for the big game on Sunday. So if you like the video today, please come and share it. I'm your host, Vincent Turner, and it's going to be the Hollywood LA Rams taking on the underdogs from the Midwest, the Cincinnati Bengals. And joining me as always, presenting these great players of the week in the NFL from the AFC and the NFC is our female correspondent coming out of the 615, Nashville, Tennessee. RP Land, the lovely Mrs. Rhonie G. How you doing this morning, young lady?
Doing very well. Excited about the upcoming Super Bowl.
Well, knowing you, basically, before we get into the potential Super Bowl 56 MVPs,
Yes.
make a long story short, what you having at your Super Bowl party?
Yeah. Well, knowing me, I'm not having the Super Bowl party, right? I will be attending a Super Bowl party. So
I knew it.
I will grace the place with my presence.
Yes, ma'am. I knew it. Okay, let's talk about these your picks. Who you think has the potential of standing on their throne at the end of the game and raising up that Super Bowl trophy and that lovely MVP trophy. I think they get an automobile, if I'm not recollect. I don't know what car, but what players that you think has the potential of being Super Bowl 56 MVP?
All right. So we'll start with the LA Rams. All right. And this is probably not going to be any surprises here because they all had phenomenal seasons. On offense, quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Wide receivers, Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr. And on defense, Aaron Donald, defensive tackle, Von Miller, defensive end, outside linebacker, and Jalen Ramsey, cornerback. What do you think about that, Mr. Football?
I'm going to start with the Rams. Matthew Stafford played here at the University of Georgia. I live in Douglasville, Georgia, which is about an hour from Athens where you play college football. Yeah. And when you look at it, it'll be a Cinderella story because everybody knows the Georgia Bulldogs here locally won the national championship in college football. Then the Atlanta Braves won the World Series this year. Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams won the Super Bowl and he becoming a Super Bowl MVP. You think the city of Atlanta and the surrounding areas in Athens, Lithonia, Stone Mountain don't go crazy. Their favorite song when the Super Bowl MVP this Sunday is going to be All Heaven here down in Atlanta, Georgia. Then you're looking at the wide receiver position. I would say this about Cooper Kupp. He's had the greatest season statistically of any wide receiver in National Football League history, even the great Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
And I did not see that coming. Young man was a third-round pick out of Eastern Washington about a few years ago, and he's turned into be arguably the best receiver in all of pro football. And when you look at his numbers, he's had 2 100-yard games. He would go right up there the list. And then Odell Beckham Jr. Can we be more happy for a young man that's had a up, down, over here career? LSU started out in Broadway. He became a pretty good football player with the New York Giants. Yeah. Things didn't work out there. And I really thought when he went down there with his best friend, Jarvis Landry in Cleveland, I thought him, Baker Mayfield, and Mr. Landry have something special. I even thought with him coming aboard with Cleveland, I was thinking about the Browns being a little bit of a Super Bowl potential. But we know how that worked out. Things didn't work out between him and Baker Mayfield. And I was really surprised he signed with the Rams. I thought he would go over to Green Bay with the young man from Chico, California, Aaron Rodgers, and play with the Packers. But Odell has been a star in the playoffs. And I wouldn't be surprised if he have a big game on Sunday. Mr. Odell Beckham, LSU. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, how can you not say Aaron Donald is not a potential MVP in this game? Look at the Cincinnati Bengals. If you talk about anything that you worry about the Bengals, you got to worry about their offensive line. Remember, Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times in a division game against the Tennessee Titans. And Aaron Donald's the best is doing it right now at the D tackle position. Then you got Von Miller, who they brought over from the Denver Broncos in the middle of the season. I don't know when anybody thought that Von Miller game was slipping. He still can rush the passer. And all you got to do is go back to the game film and look what he did against San Francisco.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo threw that interception that really sealed the game at the end. Look who was putting the pressure on. It was that young man out of the eyes of Texas, not the way of the University of Texas, Texas A&M, Aggie land. And then the flamboyant, Florida State, out of Nashville, Tennessee, Brentwood, Mr. Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
One of the best is doing it right now at the cornerback position. And I can't wait to see him and Jamar Chase go head up. And you know what? Jalen Ramsey might be on that radar, getting a couple of picks in the game. And if that happens, then he could be a potential Super Bowl 56 MVP.
Yeah.
Now, Miss Rhonie G, tell us about who you guys are potential Super Bowl MVPs with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. All right. So offensive, Joe Burrow, you mentioned him earlier. Quarterback, Joe Mixon, running back. Jamar Chase, wide receiver. On the defensive, Trey Hendrickson, defensive end. Von Bell, safety. And Jesse Bates, safety.
Stop. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mrs. Rhonie G. Joe Burrow. See, when you're a quarterback and you go into the Super Bowl, and I'm 61 years old, and both quarterbacks go to the Super Bowl, they like presidents during the week of the Super Bowl because all eyes are on the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And you can go back to 1969 when Joe Namath was sitting at that swimming pool, and he guaranteed the New York Jets would beat the Baltimore Colts, and he was sipping on that whiskey. And then a lot of people remember when he won that playoff game over the Raiders, he was wearing that chinchilla coat. Now go back when Joe Burrow, when he defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. Now we're talking about a young man. In a 3-year span, he's won the Heisman Trophy. He's won a national championship at LSU. And in his second year in the league, he's took a team that nobody on the horizon saw the Cincinnati Bengals being in at LA.
That's right.
The city of Compton, Hollywood. But what I liked about Joe Burrow, he went up on the stand, the post game, and did you see what he was rocking? He had on that Shaft outfit. Because you know we from Memphis, Tennessee, and Shaft had all that black on. And he was rocking that diamonds. And he's a good-looking guy. And he had that cut rocking. And he had a lot of poise up on that stand. Like he should be there.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Joe Burrow, right now, is that man. And believe it, all the females are watching. Now, Joe Mixon, Boomer, Sooner, University of Oklahoma. I think he's going to be one of the keys, actually, of Cincinnati winning the football game. If Joe Mixon can get over 70 yards rushing, Cincinnati's got a great chance to win the football game. Now, to Jamar Chase. See, down here in Atlanta, Mrs. Rhonie G, I go to a barber shop every week because that's what my job, I'm a courier. And the name of the barber shop is Philly Finest. Great football minds in there, no question about it. And before the draft last year, I almost got ran up out of there because everybody was saying Devontae Smith, who won the Heisman out of the University of Alabama, was the best receiver in the draft. And I said, no, hold up. It's Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Because he's 6'1". He's 210 pounds. Then go back to his college season. The last season he was there at LSU. He put it on C.J. Henderson of Florida, who was a #1 pick. He put it on Trayvon Diggs. Last time I checked, Trayvon Diggs led the league, the National Football League, in interceptions.
Yeah.
And in the national championship game, he put it on A.J. Terrell. And everybody was calling me crazy.
They're not calling you crazy now.
But all I got to say is Jamar Chase. LSU, 1,445 yards receiving by a rookie at 21 years old. And you know what?
Facts.
Devontae Smith is at home. Jalen Waddle is at home. Devontae Adams of Green Bay is at home. Who's at the Super Bowl? Remember this name. His name is Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Now on the defensive side, I want to give, I know the Cincinnati Bengals have got to give kudos to the New Orleans Saints. See, sometimes football organizations don't know what they have. Say, Trey Hickerson put up numbers in New Orleans, so y'all didn't want to pay him his money. And Von Bell, who played strong safety for the Saints, had some good years over there. You didn't want to give him his money.
Mm-hmm.
So what has happened? New Orleans, y'all lost y'all coach this year. Sean Payton retired. Drew Brees retired.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Out for the year, and your season went down the drain. So when I look at it, y'all let two guys get away who now they in LA gonna be going to Shaq's party around all them stars out there. And they are must-see TV because right now everybody who loves this game of football talking about the Bengals and the Rams. So I know Mr. Hickerson and Mr. Bell are saying, how you like me now? And let me throw in Eli Apple, too, who was with New Orleans. And then finally, Jesse Bates III, Wake Forest finest. Mm-hmm. That guy was a football player because I saw him play a lot in the ACC, and I seen him play against Georgia Tech. And I was surprised he dropped in the draft. He should have been a first rounder. But that's all right, Jesse Bates, because you're going to get paid in the offseason. But right now, Mr. Bates, you're on that stage. See, when you look at this great game, Mrs. Rhonie G, and you know me, yeah, football goes from late July to back when I was growing up to the end of January. Yeah. And now it's in the February. And there's one thing that I'm going to say. I'm going to give kudos to this young man who's going to be I believe 85 years old on February the 24th, down in Memphis, Tennessee, hometown, the 901. And I remember back in the day, my father, Chester, used to have all my friends. And the one game we used to watch, we had that big old color TV down in the and it was the Super Bowl. Now, during that time, my father, he was a guy who likes to pick your mind. So we used to play cards. My dad used to cook, but there was one thing Chester Turner, my hero, used to say. Hell, football ain't nothing about two teams. It's this day. Sunday, Super Bowl. Everything stops. Everybody stop working. And all eyes are going to be in LA this week. That's how I grew up under Chester Turner. So, as Mr. Turner said, when it's all said and done, what I'm looking forward to is going to be one team that's going to raise that trophy. And that player that wins the Super Bowl MVP award, Super Bowl 56, his life is going to change. Yeah. Change for the rest of his life because he's going to go down in history. And boy, if it's Joe Burrow, you better get ready because I want to see what he's going to be rocking with that change, how many diamonds he's going to have in it, and what type of outfit. I'm going to call him the White Shaft Richard Roundtree, Mr. Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Final words, Mrs. Rhonie G, on this great game that we're going to watch on Sunday, Super Bowl 56.
You know, it's going to be an exciting game. You can agree. You know, excited for both teams, particularly these young quarterbacks. And, you know, I have to admit, I'm shooting for Cincinnati. That's who I'm rooting for.
My final words is a great football game. It's coming up on Sunday at 6:30. I hope everybody, wherever you at, please have fun, be safe, drink to be merry, eat all the great food that's going to be presented at all these parties, the wings, the barbecue, the greens, whatever you're having. But also for me, you know, at a Super Bowl party, you got to have that drink. And that drink, I'm going to take you all the way back to my home, Memphis, Tennessee, and Chester Turner used to like that Bacardi rum. So, out there, if you're watching the Super Bowl, have that Bacardi rum. And next week, Mrs. Rhonie G is going to break down the Super Bowl 56 MVP. So if you like the video today, please come and share it. I'm Vincent Turner, Mr. Football, and my special guest, who gives us all the great players throughout this season, the AFC and NFC players of the week, Mrs. Rhonie G, coming out of 615 Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you, and be merry this week, and be safe.
Be safe.